What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to our first live stream since being back from SEMA and Destination Outdoor. Kinda crazy the last couple of weeks, guys. So we were in Destination Outdoor, which was an off-road event sponsored by Toyota out in Bryson City, North Carolina. Toyota and the Destination Outdoor crew, they do this every year. Interested to see how next year goes, like where it's at or what's going on with that. But this was my third year doing that. And then right afterwards, we went to SEMA, which was crazy, in Vegas. So that was my second time at SEMA. Make sure that this is good. Perfect. So that was my second time at SEMA, which it was crazy. Like the very first time that I was at SEMA, it was wild. But then this time too, it wasn't as packed there as I feel like last year's was, but it was still just insane. Tons of trucks, tons of cars, tons of Toyota stuff, just overwhelming stuff at SEMA. But it was a good last couple weeks, tons of content. I figured we'd break up just the review video after content of all these vehicles today with a live stream, because the last time we were live, it was before SEMA, but it was also at SEMA. So we had like a sit down live stream before I went out to SEMA and Destination Outdoor. And then I just went live for a little bit for you guys at SEMA around all the vehicles. But we got some people popping in on this Wednesday. Alan, how's it going? Keelan, how's it going? What is up, guys? So if you're new to live streams and you're just popping in, basically what we do is you guys just ask me some questions and I give you guys answers as good or as best to my ability as I can with what I know about certain products and things that I can say as well. But Carl, how's it going? TRD Pro says we need 4Runner 2025. Dude, I know, I feel you. So there have been rumblings about that because apparently the dealers, when they went to their dealer show in September, word has gotten out that the dealers did in fact see the 6th Gen 4Runner. They kind of showed them a preview of it, not a physical body of a vehicle, but a photo at least. So we know that the 6th Gen 4Runner is coming. We just don't know exactly when. But again, whatever questions you guys have, just throw them in the comments section. So as you guys saw on this title, and I'll say this a couple times as we go through because more and more people will come in and they come out of the live stream. And when you guys come into the live stream, just leave a like. I appreciate it. But what's next is the LA Auto Show. So we got the LA Auto Show next week. And in conjunction with that, in California, we also have the Tacoma First Drive event. So the NPP for that, the National Press Preview, I believe is what that acronym stands for. So we have the Tacoma Drive event next week. Now I did get the dates that I am able to tell you guys when all the embargo stuff is released. So for pricing, fuel economy, all that stuff with the Tacoma, if I remember the date properly, and I will update you guys next week as well, but I believe it was November 28th. All that stuff should come out. So still, I knew it was gonna be this month. I knew that the drive event was gonna be this month, but I didn't know the exact date that we would be able to tell you guys all the information. And it looks like it's gonna be at the tail end of the month. So with all that stuff, we should also get like the configurator on Toyota's site as well. All that will be good, but I will mention all that again. Of course, with the LA Auto Show too, we should hopefully have that crown reveal there, the full crown, because they said on the 14th of November, I believe they said the 14th in that recent teaser. So that will be there most likely at the event. I don't know what other days fall within that time frame of where we're at and where else they would reveal it, right? And then also potentially the Camry or whatever the other sedan was that Toyota also teased. I'm waiting to get that teaser from Toyota as well. If they decide to do a second teaser of it, I don't know why they wouldn't, and then just make an update video for you guys real quick. Even though cars and crossovers don't do the best on the channel, it's still nice for those that care just to make a quick little video and like get some hype around it too, especially because I'm going to be showing you guys the car in its entirety, right, when I get my hands on it. So I'd rather just build up some hype around it. But everyone jumping in. Carl, how's it going? K-Dub, Red again, I think I said that right. How is it going, everyone? So we got about 40 people in here now. We'll start answering some questions. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and light up the comment section, and I will try to answer everyone's question, at least like a good answer, right? Sometimes we get way far behind and I start to rifle through some questions real quick, but hopefully I can get everyone's questions going. So Radigan, what's up? Carl, TRD Pro, Keelan, Alan, everyone in here, what is up, guys? So first question, K-Dub says, how did the interior of the 1794 look in person? And I assume K-Dub is talking about the limited edition. So the limited edition, when I got into that thing, man, it was, it smelled like a baseball glove. Like, you know, when you're a kid, or maybe you guys have kids or whatever, and you get like that brand new baseball mitt, right? And just, the leather of it, or like a fresh pair of boots, right? When you open up that box of boots and the leather just smacks you in the face, that is literally what the inside of that truck smelled like. Now, the leather itself, I can tell that it will definitely show wear a bit more than like the normal like processed leather. Like good high quality leather definitely shows a bit more wear and tear, I guess, and not like in a bad way, but it just wears properly, if that makes sense. But the inside was really nice, tons of soft touch everywhere. I really think that that truck is like a capstone contender, right? When I tapped the glass of that truck, it didn't have the acoustic glass like the capstone does, so maybe that's like the only downfall to that trim as opposed to the capstone. Yeah, patina, exactly, Radigan. But I feel like that price range of that truck is going to be just as much as the capstone, if not more, because of the TRD suspension and everything underneath. But the inside was nice. It's definitely for a select group of people, the 1,500 that are going to buy it, right? Just because it's very, very different than other vehicles out there, other Tundras out there, but it was still really nice. Carl says, did you get your Tundra wind noise fixed? So I'm going to have, do you guys want an update video on that tomorrow? So long story short is this, the Tundra is in the driveway right now, but I have to take it back to the dealership tomorrow. So because I'm going to be at the LA Auto Show and driving the Tacoma and everything around, long story short, they weren't able to fix it right away, but the dealership was really cool about it. The technician that drove the truck, he didn't hear exactly what I was talking about. So the dealership was really cool, and they said, okay, we obviously know that you're not satisfied because we didn't do a fix. So they rode with me in the truck. So instead of just like getting the truck back and getting all frustrated and going to another dealership, I said, guys, can I ride with you in the truck? Someone sit in the passenger seat. I will make the truck act and make it like rattle the way that it's supposed to, or not that it's supposed to, but the way that it does, that I know it does, and we can go from there. So we did that. The service manager, he's like, oh yeah, this thing rattles pretty bad. So basically, the 4Runner's there at the dealership right now because I have to get stuff done for the 4Runner. So we're just gonna swap them back tomorrow. But the wind noise, not done yet. The rattling noise, not done yet. Hopefully they'll rectify both of those. But the seat, got parts on order for that. They have not come in yet, so hopefully those come in while the truck is back at the dealership. And then, so for the lumbar support of the seat, they did a whole new mechanism for the back, and the leg little electronics thing, that part was ordered as well. The tailgate, it's just normal, I guess. Like every other truck there is like off just a little bit, I guess. So that's just Toyota poor quality with that Tundra, just being off with gaps. And they have no way to really adjust the quarter panels and adjust a tailgate on that truck that has been molded and it's done, right? Everything is welded together, or however they do the composite bed, but everything is just, it's already there. So unfortunately that couldn't get fixed. But the truck is going back, to answer your question, Carl. So I can make an update video on that tomorrow, but it would kind of be like redundant because then in a week when I get the truck back again, I don't know, we could see. So if you guys want that, then I can do that. But I did just end up doing the 10K service instead of the 5K service because the truck was so close. Like I was gonna drive it back there in like 2,000 miles just to get the oil change, so I just did the 10K. Alan says, did the pricing of the GX 550 drop yet? It did not yet. So the GX 550, that drive event I just got the email for, is going to be in January. So we can expect the pricing for the GX 550 to be around January timeframe. So this is going to be my second Lexus event, drive event. The first one was the TX, And the pricing for the TX actually came out a few weeks before the actual drive event. So I'm not sure how Lexus is going to do it for the GX. That pricing may be out next month, right, as orders start to come in for the GX. But our drive event will be in January for the GX. So I'm super excited to do that for you guys. TRD Pro says the Tacoma 2024 0 to 60 5 seconds. I searched on Google. Who the heck did that? Who's driving this truck already? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly what it will be, right? Unless they had that in the press material that they gave us back in like August or whenever the truck came out. But I don't remember that stat. 5 seconds. If it is 5 seconds, that's not horrible for a truck, unless that was the hybrid powertrain. But if it's 5 seconds, that's not that bad for a mid-sized truck, honestly. Carl says, when will the Tundra limited 1794 limited hit lots? I think they said April. I want to say they said like March or April of this year. It was on the press material that Toyota actually sent out. Let me see if I can see that real quick. But I'm pretty sure that it was April. I'm going to check something real quick just to make sure that the live and everything is good. Make sure we save all that. All right. So for everyone jumping in, doing a live stream, obviously, you guys saw it. If you guys can smash the like, I'd appreciate it. That way everyone who's subscribed to the channel, maybe YouTube will be like, hey guys, John's live right now. But we just came back from Destination Outdoor and SEMA, and then we got the LA Auto Show, the Tacoma Drive event coming up, pricing, gas mileage, all that stuff coming for the Tacoma, and hopefully a couple reveals from Toyota with what they've been teasing at the LA Auto Show, and just more hands-on time with vehicles that you guys want to see. So I'll make a poll here on the channel and see what vehicle you guys want more time with, because I mean, we showcase the GX Overtrail a lot with the Destination Outdoor and SEMA. Hopefully they have like a premium and a luxury at the LA Auto Show that I can show you guys, and then more Land Cruiser content. That would be nice to showcase. And then obviously we're gonna have a crap ton of Tacoma content coming in the next few weeks or so, just with driving. I'm not sure if we're gonna have hybrids there as well, or if that will be a different drive event, but tons of different Tacomas, guys. So cannot wait for that. Cody says, recommend a TRD Pro Sequoia or Platinum, similarly priced. So it depends on what you're gonna do with your vehicle, right? Because you could get a Platinum with the TRD off-road, with the locker, with all that stuff, which is cool. Or you could get the TRD Pro that has all that stuff, different suspension, better off-road tires. Like, they're not incredible, but it depends on what you're gonna do with it. Like, if you're just gonna have the vehicle for a while, you don't care about the resale that much, but you want more of the features and stuff, and you're not really gonna off-road it, I would 100% say Platinum. Like, if I was in the market for Sequoia again, I would probably get the Platinum, just because I like the interior of my Tundra Platinum more than a TRD Pro. So I would definitely probably go Platinum on a Sequoia. However, if you plan on selling it like within the first year to 2 years, even 3 years down the road, I would probably go more towards the TRD Pro, just because it'll hold its value better. It'll hold its value better than the Platinum does. For some reason, the TRD Pros on everything, they just seem to hold their values more than any other trim level. So that's the only reason why I recommend TRD Pro for the Sequoia. However, if you're gonna get a Platinum and you still want it to have some of the off-road features, you could get a TRD off-road Platinum now and have all that stuff. Vince, what's up? Mr. Sheep, how's it going? And then Radigan says, how are the, I hope I'm saying this right, Radigan, how are the Land Cruiser trim and the GX 550 trim comparing? Huge improvement to get the GX or similar? So the Land Cruiser trim, compared to like a normal just GX trim, is honestly like pretty comparable. The GX that I was just in at Destination Outdoor and also at SEMA, it seemed a bit further along the pre-production line than the GX in Austin, Texas that I sat in for a little bit. And I do remember the Land Cruiser a decent amount at that Land Cruiser Heritage Museum at the release of it. But the GX, I don't know. So they're both gonna be built in Japan, which is nice. The GX definitely felt more premium on the inside, but like I enjoy the Land Cruiser's interior layout more, like just the way that the layout is of the Land Cruiser. I like the center console more. I like that the screen is a bit flatter like that, and it's a horizontal screen. So like parts of the Land Cruiser I like better, but as far as materials and stuff go, it's a huge jump from the Land Cruiser 1958 to the Land Cruiser trim level. Like it's very comparable, I feel, to the GX. Maybe like not as good as the GX, but like it's not like, wow, this is like a horrible interior compared to the GX. Like they both feel pretty dang close. Mike, how's it going? Pro says the Tacoma X Runner with the Tundra engine V6 and that Tacoma X Runner, it's Ford Ranger Raptor killer. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people wanted out of that X Runner, right? So when Toyota showcased that, they're like, yo, they could put that into a Tacoma TRD Pro and just make that truck just be balls to the walls crazy, which it would. I mean, however, at the same time, a lighter weight truck with the 4-cylinder, but it depends like with the batteries and stuff, like how much heavier it actually is. Because like the Tundra V6, it's not like that far off with certain numbers to the Tacoma iForce Max 4-cylinder. So, but still, with the 10-speed transmission and everything, that truck would haul butt. It's so sick. Like the fact that Toyota did that on the concept for SEMA, that was really, really cool. And that engine looked right at home. Like when I had that hood popped and was looking at it, that engine looked right at home, which was awesome. Jay says, hey John, do you think that, what do you think about the new Honda Pilot Honda Pilot? Would you consider that if you had kids? Oh, so yeah, the Pilot. What's their truck called? The Honda what? I thought you were talking about the truck. But the Honda Pilot's cool. I saw a little bit of it at the Chicago Auto Show, I think. And I was sitting in that, and then I sat in the Grand Highlander because that was when it was revealed. And then I also sat in the Kia Telluride. And all of them seem fine. All of them seem really fine. I feel like if Toyota did an off-road version of the Grand Highlander, that would probably compete with that Honda Pilot. But I do like the looks and stuff of the Honda Pilot a bit more than the like Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade. So I mean, that would be a pretty solid vehicle. And Hondas are decently reliable as well. So I don't see why that would be any issues. Vince says, what is the difference between mag gray, metallic, and the underground color? So to me, underground is a bit darker, but also like a bit lighter. So which is kind of weird because it just really depends on the light that it's in. Magnetic gray is a good gray. To me, underground has more of like a Nardo gray to it and also like a light silver and kind of like blue hints to it. But underground is fairly close to magnetic gray, different in different lights. But as we saw with the 4Runner, underground effectively replaced magnetic gray, I believe. So it's a pretty close color, but it looks really good. Jay says, are you still considering getting a 24 4Runner? I really need to make a video about that because I think that would be cool. Just one last hoorah of a 4Runner before the 6th gen comes out. Just build it up on the channel and just basically everything that I did years ago, right? Because my 4Runner is what started this YouTube channel, and it's evolved into Toyota reviews and Lexus reviews, but I still enjoy doing the DIY stuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that its own second channel like John's Garage or John's Yoda Garage or something like that. I'm not really sure yet what I'm gonna do because like we do a bunch of these Toyota reviews, and then I have a video coming where I showcase all my overland stuff on my Tacoma, right? So like it falls in line with kind of what I've been showing of all these off-road and TRD Pro vehicles. But like, you're like, oh, John's talking about his Tacoma again. Whereas if that was on the other channel, it would make sense because that truck is always like in the limelight, I guess, if that's the right word to say. But I have, after the Destination Outdoor event, because I was just staring at the Solar Octane 4Runner, it just looks so good. But I was like, it'd be cool to just get a Solar Octane 4Runner, like TRD Off-Road or something like that. 2024, the very last year of the 4Runner, like the best of the best. You have everything on it, right? Still reliable. And just build it out, right? And if I'm smart about it and I get a good deal on it and I get parts from companies and work with them and stuff and car values don't go down too much, I could have a little bit of equity in that car and sell it to the right person or raffle it off if that deems successful. or raffle it off and make money and then roll that into either a Land Cruiser this year or the 6th Gen 4Runner, depending on when that comes out. But yes, highly considering a 2024 4Runner. Mike says, off Toyota topic, Dodge is ditching its V8. So this is totally cool, guys, right? Just because it's a Toyota channel, I like any questions. I love cars, I love trucks, I love the whole automotive industry, real estate, anything. Like anything. Like I'll talk to an extent about it. So Dodge is ditching the V8. So everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people commenting like, oh, Toyota, they got rid of the V8, blah, blah, blah. They suck. Dodge is better. Ford's better. Chevy's better. Guess what? Newsflash. Everything, unfortunately, is losing the V8 because of federal dumb regulations and all this stuff. Like, we're losing it, right? So I think it's called the CAFE tax, I think is, and I may be wrong on this, but Dodge for a while, Ford, Chevy, the fact that they had the V8s, they were paying fines to the government for having that, unless they were really able to offset it a lot by their other vehicles with their emissions. But if not, which I highly doubt it, they were paying fines. Toyota didn't want to do that. Toyota is a very by-the-book company, so they just ditched it right away. Now Dodge has ditched it as well. However, that new Hurricane engine that they have on the Rams, I'm very curious as to how it's going to be. But that freaking sucker is pumping out some horsepower and some torque. An inline 6-cylinder is pretty crazy. And it's weird because like a lot of the Dodge fanboys and everything that I've seen, they're excited about the engine, which I know there is the hate too, like, oh, they got rid of the V8, I'm done with Dodge. Like I have seen those. But for some reason, the hype over the Hurricane engine, and I don't know if it's just because of the horsepower and torque numbers, I have no idea. But the hype over that engine is better than when Toyota announced that they were ditching the V8 for a much more powerful and efficient V6 twin turbo. It doesn't make any sense to me like why people are hyped about one thing and then on the other hand they weren't hyped. But yeah, dude, Mike, that I'm excited to see how that actually performs for them, and too with their TRX, right? Because their TRX had like 707 horsepower or 7-something horsepower, right, with that supercharged Hemi. So I'm curious how much more they're going to pump out of that new Hurricane engine for the TRX when they finally reveal that. But yeah, the high output one, those are some crazy numbers for a half-ton truck, and very torquey and peppy engine too, since it's a straight inline 6-cylinder. Wade says, any guesses when the Tacoma configurator will be live? Seems crazy to me. I can buy a Tacoma next month, but don't have NPG's pricing or the configurator yet. Yeah, so for those guys that are just jumping in, I get to drive the Tacoma next week, and they gave us the embargo. I believe all that information is good for us to tell you on the 28th of November. I'm not sure like what times and all that stuff, and it could change by the time we get there, but it's looking like, I'll just say this, at the end of the month, end of this month, end of November, all that Tacoma information should be out, and with that, the configurator should be live at that point, and then trucks will start rolling out, hopefully in December, man. I really hope to get my truck in December, and then into January, the first batch of trucks will start rolling out. So very, very excited about it. Yeah, it's crazy that dealerships are taking deposits and everything of trucks. We don't know legitimate packaging, we don't know legitimate prices, like all this stuff, right? But dealerships are obviously taking money to put people in line for whatever allocation they get, right? Because you could have told your dealership, hey, I want this truck, like me. Hey, I want solar octane, TRD off-road premium, short box, double cab, automatic, right? But the first couple of vehicles they get may not even be close to that. So yeah, it's a gamble that we're all trying to play, right? But hopefully we are able to do it. John, what's up? Jimmy, how's it going? Welcome in. Good to see you. Carl says, are you seeing any off-road Platinum Tundras? Still waiting for one here in Nebraska. I did see a couple with 6.5 a bed. I personally haven't in my area. Where I live in the northwest Florida Panhandle, I haven't seen any. No TRD off-roads. The first TRD off-road Platinum I saw was recently at SEMA, and it was on a Sequoia. They had one Sequoia there, and it was a Platinum, and it was a TRD off-road. That's all I saw. Virtual train stuff, what's up? Says, I really wish that you could request, no matter the cost or possibility, that old Speedway Blue. Oh yeah. I want that blue on a TRD Sport. It matches those blue accents. Yeah, so the blue accents, and I'm curious as to what the closer to production models of that blue interior will look like, but the Speedway blue on the 4th Gen Tacoma, oh, that looks so much better than the Blue Crush Metallic. Blue Crush Metallic is a nice color, it is, but man, that Speedway blue, that fit the 4th Gen body lines perfectly. It looks so good on that. Ridgeline, Honda Ridgeline, got it, thank you guys, yeah. Jimmy says, I really want Toyota to build the Tacoma X-Runner and put that into production. I agree. I mean, and even if it's not gonna be, you know, with the Tundra engine, which it most likely would not be, just to have that Tacoma extra cab body style lowered, some nice good tuned TRD like off-road, not off-road, on-road suspension, maybe some different gearing or something like that in the rear axle to like keep you at good peak torque and have it be an automatic transmission or a manual transmission. That would be wild. That would be really, really cool. Jay says, I'm considering getting a 24 4Runner in underground. That's why I asked if you're getting one as well. I hope so. Your videos would help. Appreciate your craft. No, I appreciate you guys watching all the time. I always appreciate the support, and that's what this channel's for, right? Like I don't care about the views. Well, I do care about views sometimes because I don't like putting a bunch of work into something and it not panning out, but that's just YouTube sometimes. But like, I don't care about the fame or anything like that. Like when I get a couple people that come up to me at like Destination Outdoor or SEMA, it's still kind of weird. Like I don't see it. All I see is a phone right now, right? And the screen of your guys' comments. But like if I ever met Jay, right? It's then I have that connection of in person. But I just enjoy it. It's just awesome. And if I help people out, like I love getting those DMs and those comments sometimes that say, dude, I watched like 5 of your videos, they were great, and I bought this car because of you, and our family loves it, and we went on a road trip, and all this stuff. Like, that's what I really like. Or if you had a modification for your 4Runner that a video helped you with, right? Like, that's what I really, really like. But yeah, I completely forgot about underground on the 4Runner, even though I just mentioned it in another comment. A solar octane TRD off-road premium or a underground 4Runner would be really, really cool. Oh yeah, because I did the thumbs up and it's with my phone. That would be really, really cool for just one last hoorah of a 2024 4Runner. That would be cool. Brett, not sure when you sent this question or if you were in here when I explained it, like just recently, and it's all good. But at the end of the month, we should have the Tacoma pricing, the MPGs, hopefully the configurator online. Hopefully at the end of the month with all that, and Toyota doesn't change our embargo. That'd be nice. Bobbert says, not a question, just saying that my local dealership has me on a waiting list, and they told me that it should be around January, and that was for the Trail Hunter. I hope for you, I really, really hope for you, but the Trail Hunter is only going to be hybrid, and those hybrids are gonna be later in the year. So the hybrids are gonna be, or not later in the year, early into 2024, so around March-ish is what I was told for hybrids, March into April. So I hope that things changed, but I don't think so, man. So hopefully the dealership gets some updated information on that because the hybrids are supposed to roll out a little bit later in the model cycle. I'm still waiting on the 2024 Tacoma TRD Pro. It will be so cool. Dude, agree. I can't wait to just hopefully that drive event for the Tacoma, or whenever I get my hands on the Tacoma TRD Pro for the new generation, it's like wide open desert, because that is where that truck is going to be happy. Not on like crazy technical trails, even though I'm sure that the truck will do good on those. But I hope we have like a wide open desert to check that truck on, because that's what the seat is for, right? Like it's to keep your eyes level, like as your head is moving all around, it's to keep your eyes level on stuff. And I really hope that we use the crap out of that truck, the Fox QS3 shocks. They tune them in the right way that we need it for the trail that we're on, and we just haul butt, man. That's what I hope so. Radington says that I'm excited for a Tacoma Limited. That one looks really good. Not trying to go off-road at all. Like the idea of a full-time four-wheel drive. Any clue if they will have rain-sensing wipers and auto high beams? I know that the truck will have auto high beams, and I want to say that would have rain-sensing wipers as well. The Tundra does. A lot of the new Toyota vehicles are having that, especially in the higher-end ones. So that would be nice to have. I may have to look at that on it, but I know for sure it has auto high beams. That was a thing with Toyota Safety Sense like 2.0 or 2.5 or something like that. So the Tacoma is rocking, I believe, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. And the Tundra has it on 2.5, I think. So we should definitely have that on the new Tacoma. But yeah, the fact that it's a full-time four-wheel drive system in the Tacoma, like it's literally the Land Cruiser's powertrain under that limited Tacoma, which is sweet. And and I'll say this all the time, and hopefully I'm not talking up the Tacoma like too much, right? But like this new truck is going to be really, really good. Like it has stuff in it that I wish the Tundra had, and I get that the Tacoma was Toyota's #1 selling truck, right? The Tundra has never been a Ford F-150 competitor. Like Toyota is not in the full-size truck game at all, and they don't care to be. But the Tacoma, that was their #1. So they could not make this truck not have good features and desirable features and like be good, if that makes sense. Like without like going all into it and stuff. But I am beyond excited for this truck. Just like that short that I posted yesterday, right? Like the Tacoma bedside right there with that extra little storage on the side. A little 12 volt and a USB-C in the bed. Do you need it? No, but like it's there, right? And I'm not sure if that's part of a package, but still it's just cool that the Tacoma just has so much. It's just so excited. Cordetti, what is up, Cordetti? I always say that the wrong way, but how's it going, man? If you guys like car content and stuff and just want another person to watch, go over to his channel. What is up? You also said, picked up my Tundra. Oh crap, I need to go check it out. Picked up a Tundra 2023 on Tuesday. Congrats. Planning on a minimalist build. Love the back to basics and entry level builds. Heck yeah, that is awesome. So there you go. So Cordetti has a brand new Tundra. If you guys are looking for some more Tundra content, just picked himself up a 2023. That is awesome, dude. So that's what you were teasing when you commented on the video. That is awesome. I'll have to go check that out. Austin says, the new Tacomas look way better in person. Got to see it at SEMA. Met a cool guy named John. Oh, Austin, I remember you. What's up, dude? Heck yeah. Yeah, really good. Really, really good. I'm glad that you got to see it in person. It looks better in person, no? I mean, like, in photos, it didn't look horrible. But when you see it in person, you're like, oh, it's not really like a baby Tundra, right? It looks like a good vehicle. Or its own thing, not good vehicle. That's stupid. What the heck am I saying? It looks like a evolution of the Tacoma. Lennon says, John, don't you think the seat of the Tundra, even the Platinum, is not comfortable? False. I think that the Platinum seat is the most comfortable for some reason. So my SR5 had a decently comfortable seat. I was just sitting in a bunch of TRD Pros out at Destination Outdoor, driving those around. The seats were fine in those. I sat in a Limited. That seat was not comfortable at all in the Limited. It felt like a flat bottom. Like I don't know. That one did not feel comfortable. But my Platinum seats are very comfortable, actually. I actually really like them. And they don't break down on me, like on road trips and stuff. If my back hurts a little bit, I just turn on the seat heater and it's fine. But I can sit in my truck and drive for probably like 6 hours straight. No problem at all. Dobby says, I am really excited about the small Toyota pickup, the small cruiser. Do you know when/if either of these will be available in the US? So what I'm hoping is that whatever Toyota Stout or small unibody pickup that we're gonna get, I hope that it looks like that Toyota utility truck that we see overseas, right? So that front end of that truck, and it just being maybe the size of like a RAV4 or something, would be really awesome, especially if they bring that small FJ Cruiser over as well. That would be awesome. Toyota is really far behind in this one. They needed to do a small truck 2 years ago. Like they really need to hurry up with that. If it's coming to the United States, they need to hurry up with that because it will crush sales, especially if they do as much as the RAV4 or the Tacoma, right? Like if it's a crazy volume seller like the RAV4 or the Tacoma, that's just so much money in Toyota's pocket. Like that is absolutely crazy, and people will love it too. Like those, because the only truck, like if you need a truck from Toyota, the only real small one that they have is the Tacoma, right? Granted, the 4Runner is rugged. You could throw stuff in the back of the 4Runner or a RAV4, but at the end of the day, it's just a SUV, right? So having a small truck like that, especially if it has like the 2.5 hybrid or something, if it gets like 35 miles a gallon or 40 even or whatever, like the Maverick does, that would be crazy. And those that just need a utility vehicle, but like not a crazy truck, come on, man. Like they need to do it. I'm super excited. I hope it comes to the US. Cody says underground coming to Tundra and Sequoia. Not for 2024 at least. I could see it coming as well soon, but 2024, it is not on the Tundra. Lunar Rock is there to stay on the Tundra, magnetic gray metallic, and same with the Sequoia. So like that is those colors for those, right? And Lunar Rock is not on the 4Runner, or is it? I can't remember. No, I think it went away, and it's not on the new Tacoma. So that also kind of gives me hype of hopefully like if the 6th Gen 4Runner stays in Japan, maybe they're just getting ready with underground there, or they could be going to Mexico for the new 4Runner. I have no idea. I'm kind of like not hypothesizing things. Whatever the word is. I'm horrible with words tonight, guys. But just thinking in my head that whatever colors the new 4Runner has or what they're trying to put on the 5th Gen 4Runner, like may give us an indication as to where the next one may be built, right? Like underground is on the 4Runner now. They may be trying that out in the Japan plant to see how that color paints in Japan, or just, I don't know. But yes, underground is not coming to the Tundra or Sequoia yet. It would look really good on the Tundra. I would really like it on the Tundra. That color would look actually really good on the Tundra now that I think about it. Jimmy says, I agree with the Tacoma with manual transmission. That would be sick on the X-Runner. Heck yeah, it would rip. It would be so sick. Rocco says, TRD John, thanks for the TRD John 20 code when I purchased the Beat Sonic for my 2023 Tundra TRD Sport. Heck yeah. So I did that video about a week ago, guys, and that code is good for, I think, till the end of the month. So if you guys missed that video, it's not just for a Tundra. They have a whole bunch of Toyota vehicles that you can do that with, whether it's a GR86, I think the 4Runner was in there, Tacoma with JBL sound system. So basically what this thing is that Rocco's talking about, it's this tiny little amplifier, like maybe this big, okay? And it's a plug and play, and you just take your stereo out, plug it into the stereo, and it basically amplifies the signal that is sent like through the stock amplifier of the truck. Like it's using, I'm not a crazy audiophile, but it's using all of that together to help whatever signal goes to the speakers just be amplified a little bit more, a bit clearer, a bit more rich. It's nothing like, you know, a $1,000 audio system for a vehicle. But when I installed it in my Tundra, I could clearly tell the difference in clarity for vocals, the cymbals crashing in certain songs, and the bass just like deepness, like the richness of the bass was just a bit better. Now, like I think it's what, like $200 with my code, or maybe even cheaper than that. And yeah, it's worth it to me. Like it actually makes me enjoy my music a bit more in my vehicle, especially too because I just listen to my music through YouTube Music, which doesn't have a crazy high bit rate. So the fact that it sounds even better for YouTube Music and it's like not all mushy, I really, really like. Cord Deddy, thank you for the membership. I appreciate that. That is awesome, dude. You don't have to at all. But guys, if you want to support, a crazy YouTuber with his ambitions of buying a lot more Toyotas in the future and all that stuff, we have multiple tiers for memberships on the channel. If I start to get a bunch of members, we'll be able to do like quarterly giveaways. We're not there yet because I don't really announce the membership, but we have like SR5, Tier D Off-Road, and Tier D Pro grade memberships. It starts at like $1 and then goes up to Tier D Pro pricing of $10. I know times are tough for a lot of people, so I don't expect $1 a month for you or anything. That's why I just let it go organically. But if we get to the point where, you know, there's like 100 members, then I could be able to do like quarterly giveaways of like lights or light bars or whatever and stuff. So, oh, which reminds me, we have the still, oh my God, this freaking guy, I just clicked on this, that's so dumb. Which reminds me, the Morimoto Big Bangers, that giveaway ended while I was in Destination Outdoor. So I'm going to pick the winner for that and then post that to the community page. Pochito says, take my money for that truck. Yeah, that'd be crazy for the X-Runner, I assume, since we've been talking about that. Mitch says, hey John, any recommendations for a rear view dash cam setup? Hard to mount with the Crew Max window. Yeah, so I don't know. I really need a dash cam. I was almost in an accident on the way back from the dealership with the Tundra. Some freaking idiot. I mean, my God, dude, people are just so stupid sometimes. They were behind me. I was going more than the speed limit, actually, probably like 5 over the speed limit. And they go around, because I'm not going freaking fast enough, but I'm about to turn left into our neighborhood. They go around, and then they come back in front. I'm like, oh, whatever, see you later. And then they put on their brakes to like get over and turn to the left. And I was like, dude, if I was in a worse mood, my wife was in the car, I'd probably just end the Tundra right here, you know, like just be done with it. But like, so done with people. But I need a dash cam, Mitch. But what there is like, there's some dash cams out there that it sits on your front windshield and it has a camera going out and it also has a camera going back. That may be the best option, and that would be personally the one that I would want. Now, it would suck because your camera's not in the back, like to really see in the back. But depending on the field of view and all that stuff, it may kind of be zoomed in and cropped in like that. But personally, for me, that'd be the one that I want. I wouldn't want to run the wire all up in my headliner and all that stuff and then like place it right there with that window that goes down. And then I have the pano moonroof, so I wouldn't want stuff touching all up in there. So I would personally just get one that like has a camera facing back and then one that's facing forward. I know they have a couple of those on Amazon. Vin says, I just wanted to say that I absolutely love my 23 4Runner TRD Pro that I got back in December. Heck yeah. No, that's awesome. That is a unit right there. It's a unit and it'll be solid for a long time. That is for sure. Is it official 4Runner 2024? Nothing is official yet. Nothing official from Toyota, but the fact that the dealers in September at the Vegas conference or whatever that conference that dealers go to, rumor has spread that they in fact saw the 6th Gen 4Runner, at least a photo of it, not a mock-up of a vehicle that was actually made, but they have seen the photos of it. So whether that's next year or the year after that, I don't know. I mean, the fact that dealers get to see that stuff first is kind of crazy because they do not have tight lips at all. But maybe it's on purpose to generate hype around a vehicle. But yeah, hopefully next year. Tashio says, I own a 2010 SR5 and I'm curious as to what modifications you think is best for my car. Also, I do agree that the new truck does look really nice and excited to see it. That's hard. I mean, for me, it depends on what you do with your vehicle. Obviously, like if I just had to say simple stuff, if your tires are old, maybe some better off-road tires. If you off-road it. If you don't off-road it, get some good high mileage tires. Window tint is a big for me. So I'll just say this. This stupid thing when I use my phone for stuff. If I had to do 5 mods for a vehicle, it would be LED lights probably for, and the thumb's gonna pop up again. It would be LED lights for that older vehicle, just like interior lights and stuff like that. Better tires if your tires are old. Window tint, depending on where you live, I would 100% do window tint. Better floor mats, like all-weather floor mats. And then some sort of like center console organizer, because I know that all Toyotas, they just have an open console. So those would be like my 5 easy mods. And with the floor mats as well, I definitely do canvas backliner for the back of your 4Runner too. I assume it's a 4Runner since you just said 2010 SR5, but I would definitely do the canvas backliner in the back too. Radigan says, do we have a color list for the Tacoma Limited or know if it's going to be a blackout package at launch? So the Tacoma Limited won't have like a nightshade package at launch. Knowing Toyota, that will be the year after or the following year, right? To make it nice and blacked out. That's what they did for Tundra. It was 2 years and then they refreshed the Limited package with kind of like a nightshade edition. But we don't know exact colors yet. We've seen it in Supersonic Red. We've also seen it in just white or ice cap, whatever Toyota's calling the white for the Tacoma. But most likely it'll have all colors, the blue crushed metallic, Celestial silver probably. It would be cool to see it in underground too, but it should have a good amount of colors. I don't see a limited being with solar octane, but they may on that one. Also, didn't know much on the Toyota 4Runner SR5 plan to come out, and how excited are you to see it? Or I don't know what you're trying to say here. If you're talking about the new 6th Gen 4Runner, I'm overly excited to see it. That is for sure. How much do you think the X-Runner would cost? So if they actually brought it to reality, obviously it wouldn't have the V6 from the Tundra, although that would be really cool. I think that the X-Runner would cost like 40 maybe, right? Just because of the nostalgia with it, but also it'd have probably a pretty premium interior, better suspension, better wheels and tires and stuff. I would say that it would probably be around 40 if it ever came out. Dobby says a Florida real estate channel would be great. I recently was checking out prices on condos near Destin and Seaside. Could not believe the prices. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, and not only that, but even just homes too. Like, if I wish we would have sold our house last year, right? But if we did, like we purchased this house 2.5 years ago, and at its peak, it doubled in 2.5 years from the price that we bought it at, which is absolutely crazy. I definitely see condos coming down in price in Florida soon. Our area just seems to be holding the prices for a while for some reason. They're just holding, and it doesn't make sense because a lot of people are now moving out and going back to like Florida or New York and all those places just because like their states opened back up. That was a big reason why we had such a crazy influx of people down here to Florida, is because like Florida was open, like and business was booming and everything when everything else shut down. But now like a lot of people are leaving again, not a whole bunch, but there are still a lot of people coming here. But the prices of the condos don't make sense for investors now to rent stuff out. It just doesn't make sense. So and Florida has this whole crazy thing also going with condos and their fees and everything too, and insurance and all this crap. So like, I'm curious as to see like in 5 years from now what the prices of those condos are. Fred says, which would you get, the new Land Cruiser or GX? That's very tough. So I'm gonna drive both, thankfully, with these Toyota and Lexus events that I get to go to. But it's hard. Like, I really like the Land Cruiser, and the Land Cruiser actually was supposed to come out first, I was told. It was supposed to come out first, but then the GX came out first, like with launch. So that's why, like, when I saw the Land Cruiser, I was like, man, this looks like really Land Cruiser-esque, especially like when we were at the Salt Lake City and stuff at that Land Cruiser Heritage Museum, and you're able to like see different parts of the Land Cruiser, like with all the other generations there and stuff. And I was told like, yeah, like the Land Cruiser was the thought first, this came first and all the stuff, and the GX, like all the same platform, and the GX had its own identity as well. So I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. But I really, after seeing the Overtrail in the incognito color, that really spoke to me. I don't know why. The earth color was cool. It was like a more luxury looking quicksand color, right? But the incognito color of the GX just, I don't know. I really liked it. I like the powertrain of the GX, the Tundra's motor in that, the iForce engine. I just absolutely love that powertrain. I know so many people are upset that the V8's gone. I get it. But I just really like that turbo 6-cylinder. Like, it drives great. But the 17 miles per gallon, that sucks. Like, and hopefully when the EPA is done with that, Lexus is all like, oh, EPA says it's 20 miles per gallon combined, right? Because that's just manufacturer estimated. But usually those numbers aren't fudged that much as to when the EPA actually is done with it. So that kind of sucks. And as I said earlier in this live stream, I like the interior layout a bit better of the Land Cruiser. So I don't know. I like the powertrain of the GX more. I like the exterior of the GX in incognito a lot, but not, you know, more than the Land Cruiser in the Heritage Blue. Like, I still really like the Land Cruiser in Heritage Blue. But the powertrain, I really, really like the powertrain. Okay, you guys are answering questions. Boom, boom. Good, no problem. Heck yeah, I love it when you guys talk. That's awesome in these chats. Mike says, thanks for the link to Rave Off-Road. Received the grill kit installed tomorrow. Also, Ecological was a good find for the mustache. Heck yeah. I hope yours, you're satisfied with your color matching. I tried to talk about that in the video that it wasn't 100% perfect, but it's pretty dang close, right? And certain times when I do look at my truck, I kind of wish that maybe I would have called Ecological and said, hey, this is a little bit off, like could you guys maybe send another one? But I met with them actually in SEMA. Like I went to their booth at SEMA. It was my first time being face to face with them. And they said that magnetic gray metallic is one of the hardest for them to match for the truck. Hopefully they're in talks with Toyota to actually get legitimate like Toyota paint from them as well to put onto their chrome surrounds and stuff and just make it super easy from them. But they did say that magnetic gray metallic was one of the hardest. The gloss ones like with white and army green and all that stuff, like those ones are pretty easy. But they said Lunar Rock was a harder one because of like the greenish hues and stuff in it, the magnetic gray metallic. But you know, if you're not like hardcore looking at your truck and stuff and like really trying to be super anal about it, I think that you're really going to enjoy it. And the Rave Off-Road, I mean, that stuff worked perfectly fine. It was just the grill itself from Toyota was just overly engineered. There's just so much to take off with the grill. And I really wanted to showcase every little piece in that video, but I combined the grill with Alpha X. I don't know about that, but it was like almost going to be a 30-minute video, like if I showed every single point of that grill. But it's easy. If you just take a step back and just look at it, it should be okay. Nope, no prices yet on these vehicles. So I get to drive the GX in January. If it's anything like the TX, the Lexus TX actually had information prior to our drive event actually. So if the January is the drive event for the GX, then maybe we get to see stuff early January pricing or even December. That'd be cool. We don't buy them for MPG when we tow our boats and toy haulers. Yeah, that is very, very true. But you're not towing it all the time, right? So it would be nice to, if you're unhitched, for it to at least get decent gas mileage and in a modern vehicle, at least be close to 20. I mean, my God. But yeah, if it's you're a towing vehicle, then yeah, I mean, don't expect good gas mileage. I mean, that's what happens when you throw a brick behind another brick, right? And then you're trying to tow with it. Gas mileage is not the best. Hey John, give me your suggestion for my first modification I should do to the truck. So, I mean, if you're wanting to keep it minimal and good, a simple center console organizer would be nice. The piano black material around the shifter column, that's never the best, right? So it'd be cool to get like a nice blacked out or matte black something for that, or whatever design you want from someone. That would be a simple mod. Window tint, I always like window tint on my vehicles. Man, what would be simple mods for my Tundra I would do again? The billet tie downs, I like those. A lot of people put Versatrax on theirs. I actually have Versatrax in my garage that I need to still put on my Tundra that I never put on it. Yeah, that, and then maybe blacking out, or I need to see your truck, but maybe dechroming it as well. I still need to check it out. But that could be a simple one as well. Jimmy says, what do you think about the new Tier D performance package? Should have been standard on the Toyota Tundra non-hybrid. So if it was standard, then you have to run 91 octane. That's the only thing that sucks. And a lot of people don't want to pay that much money for gas. Like they would just rather get in the truck and go. So I mean, personally, like the truck already has pretty good power. I'm just curious as to how much that Tier D package is really gonna punch. I made a video about it. If you guys saw that one, it's a picture of a supersonic red Toyota Tundra. And that was at SEMA. So I showcased the airbox that the truck has. I showcased the exhaust. Obviously you can't showcase the tune or anything like that on the truck, but I think it's cool for those that want it, especially too if you get the truck at a good price, like from the dealership. Like if if you're able to get the truck with the package and you're able to get the truck like $4,000, $5,000 under MSRP, right? Then that kind of, you know, gets cheaper because I think the kit was like $3,400. I just want to drive one and see if it's really worth it. And especially after I put the Scorcher into my Tundra, now that the 10K service is over with, I just didn't want to put that thing onto the Tundra, take it to the service, then be all like, oh, you have these issues with your truck with the delayed throttle response, whatever. It's this box, you know? So I just didn't want to mess with it. But I am curious as to like those that have like the JB4 thing or the AFE Scorcher, or this stupid thing doing this, man, or the Scorcher or anything like that. I'm curious as to how the Toyota TRD performance package really is. And just daily driving too, like if the truck is really breathing that much better. The one that I'm really excited for is Magnuson. So Magnuson has made a lot of people were saying, bro, a supercharger on a twin turbocharger truck? No, that's not what it is. Magnuson is making an updated or an upgraded cooling system package for the truck. So when you run turbos on a truck, like cool air is your friend, and getting cool air through the engine is your friend. So Magnuson has this package for the Tundra coming. They didn't have any extra numbers or anything like that on it. Very, very vague information on it, but that truck was sweet, and the interior bits of it looked really, really cool. Right Again says, do you recommend PPF or ceramic coating? Depends on the vehicle and depends on what you're gonna do with it and how much money you have, honestly, because I would have loved to have ceramic coated my Tundra like day one. Just take it to someone, ceramic coat it day one. That way, with it sitting out in the Florida sun, you know, all the time, like I wash my truck and I put sealant on it pretty much every time I wash it, right? Like with a good wax and everything. But if that thing was ceramic coated, it would be so easy to just hose off quickly, blow it off with air, and I'm done with it, right? So it really depends on how much money you want to spend, because that stuff's not cheap. Like if I was to ceramic coat that truck and paint correct it like with a good company, it would probably be close to like $1,500. And like at the end of the day, I would rather just pay like a good detailer to paint correct it and rejuvenate the paint, like $600, like in 2-3 years. I'd rather just spend that money. But it just depends on what type of vehicle it is. Now, if I had like a Porsche, or if I got like a Supra or a Lexus LFA one day, then yeah, I would 100% PPF the crap out of that car, the front end of it, ceramic coat on top of the PPF, something like that. I really, really would. Like if the car was over $100,000, I would most likely ceramic coat it and definitely PPF like the front for rock chips and all that. So it really just depends on the car. If you have a RAV4, no, personally no. But it's your money. Do whatever you want with it. I personally wouldn't. And then higher performance intercooler are very underrated, 100%. And it is going to be Magnuson too, right? So Magnuson, they were the ones that did the TRD superchargers like back in the day. Like it was a Magnuson supercharger. So I'm curious as to, you guys would be surprised. So at SEMA, Toyota parts, they were going like booth to booth, like just seeing what's going on. And with Toyota's AAP program, I feel like they may be letting a lot of people in with good trusted products. So you could potentially get this Magnuson kit in the future and it be covered under warranty, which would be really, really cool. So I am keeping my eye on it for sure. Cora Deddy says, is there or will there be a snorkel kit for the Tundra? The dual air filter setup looks like it would be a very complicated and expensive mod. That would be wild, right? The only thing I could think of is like 2 snorkels coming out of it, but no one's done it yet, and I actually didn't even see it at SEMA. So a way that they could do it is if they just have both boxes coming into one. I don't know how that would be though, man. But like both boxes coming into one and then going out like one side, but then you're sucking air all the way from the other side. That would potentially mess up airflow into the engine because then it wouldn't be uniform. Really, the only way to do it is if you just run dual snorkels. That'd be kind of crazy. But no, I haven't seen anything, nor did I see anything at SEMA. And if someone was on the cusp of one, SEMA would have been where I would have saw it. And I personally didn't see any. nor did I see any videos or photos of a Tundra with a snorkel kit. Danielle says dual snorkels would be rad. It would be unique, and I'm very curious as to how the turbos would sound with a dual snorkel setup. And with that too, right, with the dual snorkels, the GX, like a lot of people build out the GXs, and there are a lot of GXs with snorkels too, right? So if someone's going to figure it out, it will either be on the 4Runner or on the Sequoia platform, the GX platform, or the Tundra platform, right? Because with the Tacoma and Land Cruiser, we already saw it with the Trail Hunter. We already see a snorkel there because it's only a single turbo and with only one airbox, right? So the fact that the Tundra dual turbo, dual airboxes, all that stuff, yeah, it would need 2 snorkels. I really feel like it would just need 2 snorkels. And I'm curious, Land Cruiser too. Have you guys seen a 300 series with a snorkel? Because the Land Cruiser, that also runs the same engine, 300 series Land Cruiser snorkel. These are good questions. That's why I like our live streams, because we can just BS. There, I see one, a Safari Spec snorkel right here on this Land Cruiser. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Just show me photos. Oh, this is a 200 series. Actually, no, this is a 300 series. So this is coming out of one side on the Land Cruiser, but it's showing it on both sides that you could do it. Ram Air, this dude's just outside of it. He's just showing it, but it's only going out one side, but they're not showing like the actual engine as to where the air is coming out. So I don't know. I'll need to watch that video, but that's super good information. I mean, we'll see in the future. Sudsy on the water. Sorry, that was a rant, guys, but this is what I like to do. 2024 4Runner, or should I try to get my hands on a Land Cruiser in Canada? But the way things are going with Toyota, not sure I'll get either. Yeah, I've been hearing that Canada, y'all have been like having some issues, like getting some vehicles up there, which is kind of crazy. But man, I would just get your hands on whatever you can get, because even if you get a 24 4Runner and then the Land Cruiser comes out in like 4 or 5 months, hopefully you don't lose a lot of value on a 4Runner, right? Maybe you could try it that way. But yeah, I don't know. I would pick the Land Cruiser just because it's newer and it's nicer on the inside than a 5th Gen 4Runner is, right? But the 5th Gen 4Runner, it's bulletproof. You know, it's proven, and I'm sure that they're super popular up there, especially if you get a Tier D Pro. I mean, you'll hold your value for sure. So if you're planning on like trading it right away, like in 6 months to a year, I would just see what the Land Cruiser does, buy a Tier D Pro if you can, and then sell that for a Land Cruiser when it's time. And you shouldn't lose much money on the 4Runner, if any at all, right? Because the Tier D Pros, they hold their value really well. Was on the Toyota Australian website today, and the new Land Cruiser has only one snorkel for the diesel. Well, maybe that was it. But the video that I just saw, it showed the twin turbo V6. So I'm not sure about their diesel option. But yeah, that's super strange. I'll need to look on that too. Did you hear the engine? Which one, Isaiah? Let me know, man. Let me know. We were able to start up the Tacoma at Destination Outdoor, that iForce Max one, the hybrid. When you started it up, it sounded like it kind of started up just like the Tundra hybrid does and the Sequoia hybrid, but it is a little 4-cylinder, and I believe there is some pumped in noise for that one as well. So we'll see during the drive event if they pump in some artificial noise, and if they do, hopefully it's easily turned off. The X-Runner, no. They did not start up the X-Runner for us, unfortunately. That would have been really cool. They did start up the FJ Bruiser, though, at SEMA. And let me tell you what, I posted the video on my YouTube. It was a shorts video. That thing, when it started up, that was wild. That sounded so cool in Central Hall there
at SEMA, super empty. It's like 6, 7 o'clock at night, like no one there except for us and the Toyota people, and you know, other people as well that were setting up their booths. But they started up the FJ Bruiser. If you guys don't know what that is, it was just a crazy FJ 45, I believe is the FJ year of that they built for SEMA, and it has a NASCAR Pro Cup engine in it. So it has a freaking NASCAR engine in this FJ King of the Hammers, like just rock crawler beast. And we're inside Central Hall at SEMA, and they just floor that truck, just rap, rap. And the video does it no justice, because that thing just freaking echoed like crazy. It was so sick. It was so cool. But they did not start up the X-Runner. I'm curious if they like straight piped it or if it had a muffler or anything like that. I did not get to see it enter SEMA or them drive it into SEMA, nor was it able to get started, unfortunately, while we were there. It would have been cool if they could have, but it was very put together for a concept vehicle. Like it looked really good, because there were some vehicles at SEMA that you walk by and you look closely at, and they look like, for lack of better words, like a kit car, right? They don't look the best. The X-Runner looked really good. Here Goes Nothing says, what's the first things you're going to do when you get your new Tacoma? I'll do this for the live stream people, right? Because you guys are taking time out of your day, so I'll let you all know. So depending on where I get the Tacoma from, a road trip right away. So fly out there to get the truck. If it's local, that's cool, like whichever dealership gets it first. But road trip with the truck, do maybe like a vlog style video about that. I don't really vlog that much, if at all, on this channel, but just maybe that's what this channel is going to kind of evolve into, but with also reviews as well with stuff. I don't know, we'll see. Or that could be the start of the second channel. I don't know. But we're definitely going to do a full road trip video, check the MPGs, how it is, go over my exact build, what I paid for the truck, the options that the truck has, all that stuff. And then depending on certain companies, I won't spoil too much, but depending on certain companies, if they have their own Tacoma by the time that I get mine. If they don't, we'll road trip again to those companies, put on their parts, get the truck scanned, show you guys some behind the scenes stuff that goes into these companies like Cali-Rays, C4, CBI. Well, CBI already has a bunch of parts for the truck. But like just whichever of those companies that I decide to go to, show you guys the whole process of like how that company does stuff, like scanning the truck underneath, showing all the bolts and stuff of the truck, to fit rock sliders, to fit armor underneath the truck, to fit bumpers up front, like it's just everything that goes into R&D of a company to make parts that you guys buy for the vehicle, right? So road trip to that. I was already talking with Jeff Westcott at SEMA about when I get my truck too, since I may be in central United States or closer to the West Coast, swinging by his shop there. We'll put on his pre-collar kit with the truck, because I'm getting a Tier D off-road premium, and the Bilstein suspension on that truck is very good. From what I've been told by Sheldon Brown, he's like, that suspension on that truck is tuned perfectly for that truck. He's like, it's great. It's as good, if not better, as a Tier D Pro of last generation. So I don't want to like rip that suspension out and put different suspension on. And not only that, if you guys remember the Tundra, it took maybe 6 to 8 months before like good full suspension setups were like really available for that truck. Like from King, Icon, Fox just now released their stuff for the Tundra like 2.5 years later almost, right? Dobinson's, like all of them, they took a while. So if we could get to Westcott Designs right away, show you guys the his pre-collar kit setup for the truck, like right away. So for those of us that buy Tacomas that we just need a little bit more height, we can do that. I'm really hoping that my truck is coming with 33s. Like I don't know yet if they're doing that with like the first wave of trucks. But if it comes with 33s, then obviously we go a little bit bigger, eventually to like 34s, maybe 35s. I don't know if I really want to put 35s on a Tacoma, but we'll just see how everything fits, right? Maybe Westcott Designs, they'll have 35s on like an 18-inch wheel, and we could just put it on the truck and just see how 35s are with the truck like stock, and then with the pre-collar kit. And then after that, I'm trying to make my way up to Montana. If you guys know anything about certain overland companies that are getting really, really big, you guys may be able to put it in the comment section. But there's a company based out of Montana that I've been talking to, and that would be a really cool addition to the Tacoma. And then just road trip back and just use the truck, man. Just like go to events with friends, go actual off-roading, everything that the 2022 electric line metallic Tacoma was supposed to be, right? Like I only did a couple trips with that and like one big camping trip with it, but other than that, like I've just been sitting on it and putting some parts on it here or there, showing it on Instagram and stuff. But like that truck I just bought just to build up and work with Cali Rays on it, and then go to Toyota Jamboree. And I wanted to go to a couple more events with it, but it just didn't happen, unfortunately. But the TRD Off-Road Tacoma will definitely be putting some miles on it. I told myself like within the first couple months of having that truck, it may have like 10,000 miles on it, like within the first couple months. So it'd be really, really cool to do all that with the Taco. And then if it's in my creator's eyes, or my creator's eyes, I'm the creator, in my viewer's eyes enough, and I'm able to, what's the right word for this? I guess successfully do it, right? If I'm able to successfully do some sort of sweepstakes with the truck, right? Like I make patches about the truck or just something, and we're able to give the truck away like with the sweepstakes, because I've done that before on the channel when I teamed up with the Auto Mafia when we gave away a 4th Gen 4Runner. I really want to get back into that again, but not just like make it a business where it doesn't feel organic like a lot of other YouTubers have kind of done. Like they made it a business, and like that's all their channel was about, right? Was just giveaways. And I stopped watching them just because like, okay, cool, you got a new car, nice clickbait. Oh, it's a giveaway, I don't care, right? There are people that do cars the right way and giveaways the right way, like Cletus McFarlane. They do it the right way, right? Like TJ Hunt, Adam LZ. All those car YouTubers, they like do it the right way. Cletus really does, but like they showcase the car, they build the car up on the channel, you get connected with the car, you're like, dang dude, they're showcasing this car, they're drag racing with it, they're drifting this car, it's so cool. And then they're like, yeah, this is now the giveaway, and you're like, holy crap, really? Like I've connected with this car and I can win it now? So here goes nothing. That was a lot, but in short, that is the plan for the Tacoma, at least in my head. And I really hope everything goes to plan and the world doesn't go crazy like it did when I got my blue Tacoma, and on the tail end of it when I got my green Tacoma, right? With parts finally catching back up. So that's what I hope to do with the Taco. I hope to be one of those creators that companies want to work with the truck, to showcase you guys products for the truck like right away if you guys buy the truck, you know, aftermarket scene and stuff with it, and just work with people and just showcase it at the same time, because I really have high hopes for the truck. If we could only get the Land Cruiser 70 trophy here in the United States, that would be my dream. It would be so cool to have that truck. It just sucks with our DOT standards and with what that truck is, but I mean, a modern version of that or something would be so awesome. Daniel says that I hope Toyota offers a performance upgrade for the Tacoma. 300 horsepower would be nice. That it would. Isn't the iForce Max though already there? What are the iForce Max numbers? Unless you don't want hybrid technology, right? iForce Max specs for Taco specs. Oh my gosh, why do people like with their articles do so much with stuff? Like, just give me the numbers. Yeah, so the iForce, yeah, so I mean, the Tacoma already gets 326 horsepower. I always forget the horsepower numbers. I know that has 465 foot-pounds of torque. So as the hybrid max or iForce Max for the Taco, you're already getting 326, right? But the normal iForce for the Tacoma, I think, is like 271 or 281 or something like that. So a bump in those would be cool for the Tacoma. And not only that, so like if that gets it up to 300, and then you also do that for the hybrid system one too, and maybe it's able to make like 350 horsepower, that would be insane. And close to 500 foot-pounds of torque, like they do more torque with it. Crazy for a half-ton or a mid-sized truck. Mitch says, you thinking that we will be able to get some reliability for the third gen Tundra that has proven its first and second gen with 1 million miles? I don't think so. I don't think that a Tundra, okay, I take that back, because some of those million-mile trucks, they did have some sort of, not insane catastrophic failure, but they had some kind of failures, a little bit, that a part needed replacing. I will find it super rare if one of these new iForce engines goes a million miles without like a turbocharger or both of them needing replacement. Just turbos really aren't meant to go that long. Diesels, you know, they're nice and lubricated and stuff like that, but I don't see an internal combustion engine that's gas really allowing those turbos to go that long. But it may. So there's already some Tundras, if you guys look on Auto Trader or something like that, and there's also been some high mileage ones too on Facebook that have crossed 100,000 already. So these trucks have only been out for 2.5 years, and there's been like 3 or 4 that I've seen that have anywhere from 60 to 90,000 miles on them, and then I've seen a couple that already have 100,000, which that's not a lot of miles, right? Especially for a Toyota, but we'll find out fast, like some high mileage Tundras, like within the next 5 to 6 years, just how reliable this engine actually is for that specific truck. Obviously, it's case by case, right? So you have 1 million mile one, hey, cool. What issues did that truck have, right? It may have been a perfect truck, because there's some people that don't have wind noise issues. There's some people that don't have rattling windows. There's some people that their seats are perfectly fine, whereas others have issues with the seat cracking and everything too. So it'll definitely be case by case. We'll see with that, but hopefully, right? Toyota had the million-mile Tundra twice, so hopefully the third one has it. We will see though. Time will obviously tell. I know I would, going back to this, sorry guys, and we'll probably hop off soon so everyone can go to bed. This time change, I hate time change. I will say this, I have higher hopes for less replacement of the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder going a million miles than the 3.4 from the Tundra. And the only reason for that is just because of the extra turbo that the Tundra has. People towing more with the Tundra, right? Those turbos spooling a bit more in that engine, and just more demand out of a full-size truck than a mid-size truck. And not only that, but that 2.4 turbo is going to be in a lot of Toyota products. The Crown, probably the new Camry that's coming, whatever the new RAV4 is, if they put that in there, right? It's already in the Highlander, it's in the Grand Highlander, it's in the Tacoma, it's in the Land Cruiser, it's probably going to be in the new 4Runner. So like, there's going to be a lot of vehicles, and whatever else Toyota decides to do, there's going to be a lot of vehicles that have that 2.4 base engine from Toyota in it to like really R&D it and really make that engine reliable. The 3.4, Tundra, Sequoia, GX, Land Cruiser overseas, and LX, right? So it is in a decent amount of vehicles, but not as many as that 2.4 is going to be in. So I hope that makes sense, Mitch. Plantation for Outdoor says, is Prinsu a good rack brand, and do you recommend Baja style lights for 4Runner of any model from 2010 to 20? So I haven't actually used Baja Designs lights. I do have some actually that I should install, but I've seen that those things are super bright and people really, really like them. Prinsu, on the other hand, their rack is a little bit flimsy, like their normal rack. However, the Prinsu Pro rack that was on the GX in SEMA, that new rack looks sturdy, and it actually looked really cool too. It didn't look thin like their normal rack is. It looked really, really sturdy. So I know that Prinsu is a good value. Toyota trusts them, right? Because they're part of the AAP program. So like if you get a Prinsu rack for your vehicle, it's gonna like fit it perfectly. The direction should be very good. Or if you want the dealership to install it, you could have your local Toyota dealership install it. So I would trust Prinsu in that regard, just because Toyota trusts them to be in their AAP program. But if you can, I would definitely try to get their new Pro rack. It just seemed a bit more robust and a bit thicker and higher quality than their original rack that they had. Not that their original rack was like horrible. Their Pro rack, you could definitely tell like it's a Pro style rack. Like, and you know, companies use that word like it's just whatever, right? Oh, Pro this, Pro that. You know, you could really tell with that one that it actually was some super good high quality. Charles says, any idea of the 2024 Tacoma media drive when it's happening? Yeah, so for everyone that missed this earlier, if you guys are tuning in a little bit later, it's next week, guys. I get to drive the Tacoma next week. Super pumped about it. And I should be able to give you guys my driving impressions, pricing, MPG, all that stuff at the end of the month. If Toyota doesn't change the dates, it's looking like, I believe, the 27th, 8th, or 9th, something like that. I got the email, but I don't know like what time or anything like that. So get to drive the truck next week. I'll probably do like some short form content and maybe a couple walk around videos of like if they hopefully have an SR or an SR5, like our first looks inside at like the materials on and all that stuff. So like at these drive events, I can post those videos, right? Like I can talk about the vehicle, what it is, and like just the options it has and stuff, right? Like I could talk about that, but I can't give you guys like, hey, well, this SR5 will cost this much and it drives like this. I can't say that until their actual embargo date, but I can show you, you know, my first impressions of an SR5. Hopefully they have an SR there. We'll see. I just want to see all the grades. I want to see like a Tacoma TRD Off-Road, a Tacoma TRD Off-Road Premium, TRD Sport, Sports with manual, Sports not with manual, the extra cab. Like hopefully they have a lot there. We'll see. Corey Daddy says, might have to meet you if you go to Montana. I'm just north of the state. Heck yeah, that'd be cool. I'll definitely announce it if that's possible. All Pro Off-Road is based in Montana now, I think. Really? I did not know that they were in Montana. I thought for some reason that they were in California. But then again, a lot of companies are leaving California, so that would be good to know. Daniel says, like, I would like a manual, so no hybrid. That is true. And then Corey Daddy says, so if you guys have any other questions, throw them in. If not, we will wrap up. Got an email. My Tundra will be hauling my dirt bikes to the trails for the most part. Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. So with that, maybe look at some different D-rings and stuff, or like the Versa tracks as well, like I had mentioned earlier, or just some sort of mounts to cinch down the handlebars of the dirt bike. Because the Tundra is great for just putting stuff in the bed, right? I mean, it's a truck, you just put stuff in the bed of the truck. But it doesn't have a whole bunch of tie-down points. Now the GMC Sierra, that's cool. It's bed for a dirt bike because they even have like a little notch like in the front, like your dirt bike tire just goes right into it, man. I don't know. It's a rant for another time. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and throw them in now, or else we will wrap up. But to recap, Destination Outdoor was good. SEMA was good. Going to the LA Auto Show next week, hopefully showing you guys the new Crown SUV that Toyota's been teasing, and also whatever sedan that is that they have also been teasing. Tacoma Drive event, tons of content coming, and then hopefully we pick up my Tacoma in December. I would love to have the Tacoma in December, but it may be January, as a lot of people are saying, but we will see. Sam, what's up, dude? Says, are you getting the GX550 or Land Cruiser? It'd be cool to have both, right? Not at the same time, but one and into the other just to see how it is. But I don't know. I really want to drive the GX first. That event seems like it's going to be first in January to drive that. And then the Land Cruiser should be after that. So it just depends, especially what pricing is too, and where I'm at in life, I guess, because if we do move down to Tampa and buy a house down there in like February, March, buying a $70,000 Lexus GX 550 probably isn't the smartest thing to do right away. Like that would be absolutely stupid to buy that unless the content's there, right? So like if we maybe sell the Tundra or whatever, and then we just have the GX and the Tacoma at that time, because you guys got to think too, like we'll have the Tacoma in either December or January. So right now, if you guys are new to the channel, my garage is my 2018 4Runner stupid thumbs up thing. There's a 2018 Toyota 4Runner Tier D Pro. I have a 2022 Tacoma Tier D Pro, which is going to be sold, and then I have a 23 Tundra Platinum. It's there, and I enjoy having a full-size truck. I really do. We're really working to fix the window on the truck. The dealership is working with me with it. Take the truck back there tomorrow, pick up the 4Runner because I'm getting a new battery in it, which I could totally do myself, guys, but like the difference between buying a battery and Toyota installing it was like $40, and I'd rather them just do it and it be under warranty and all that stuff, because the 4Runner actually does have a lifetime powertrain warranty, which is crazy. So I'll just have them do all this stuff. And pick up the 4Runner. But anyways, if I have to sell the Tundra, like I really want to keep the Tundra for a while. And like when I bought that truck, I was like, I want to keep this truck until the refresh happens. Whenever the refresh happens, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever, I really, really, really want to keep the 3rd gen Tundra until then. But if, you know, life happens and we move somewhere, or if I have to sell something, obviously like I'll sell it. So if people really get done with the Tundra content and they would rather see Land Cruiser content and Tacoma content and GX content, then it doesn't make sense to keep the Tundra, especially if I have a truck in the Tacoma, right? So it would make sense at that point to just sell the Tundra, even though if I don't want to. But who knows? Things could pick up on YouTube, especially after we get the Tacoma and we're able to have a couple more cars, because, you know, YouTube, for me, it pays these car payments, right? It's a business for me, right? So if a car's not performing, like the Sequoia was doing hot for a while when I bought it in January, but dealerships were getting super, super greedy. People couldn't buy the Sequoia because dealerships were marking them up 10 grand and the one person was able to buy it. So people kind of lost their steam in buying it. I personally wasn't modifying my Sequoia just because I knew that I was going to sell it eventually. But the YouTube views for the Sequoia, they just started to go down. And I was like, if this, you know, vehicle is not getting that many views, why have $1,000 car payment every month? It just doesn't make sense. And then I also was able to sell it kind of at a peak to a dealership, like they bought it. So I didn't rip anyone off. Well, at least I personally didn't, but a dealership bought it. So it was just, it wasn't making sense. And if you guys look at my recent videos that I just posted online, right, or on my channel, all of them are doing really, really good, which I appreciate so freaking much. It's incredible. Thank you. But the Sequoia Tier D Pro one that I did, when you post a video on YouTube, of your last 10 videos, it says where a video falls in that category. So like the GX video, that video actually, like it blew up, it went crazy. It was a #1 of 10. So like of all my 10 videos that I had posted at that time, that video was a #1. Like the views were great, people were clicking on it, they were watching it, it was awesome. The Sequoia one that I posted last night, 10 of 10. So it shows me like, hey, you know, my viewers don't care that much about the Sequoia. Like they still care, but they don't care as much about the Sequoia as they do like my Tundra or the Tacoma content or the new GX or Land Cruiser content. So that makes a lot more sense for me, like, and it made sense as to why I like ditched that vehicle. So to answer your question, Sam, again, I like to give you guys longer answers instead of just a quick half-ass answer. I wouldn't mind getting the GX or the Land Cruiser if it makes sense on the channel, right? Like if the content's there and people really like it, if it's worth investing for a long-term vehicle, then cool. But if I do the drive event and people are all kind of like, it's cool, but whatever, then I won't invest in the vehicle for the channel. Daniel says that All Pro used to be in SoCal and might still have a store there, but headquarters is in Montana, I think. Okay. Well, I do work with All Pro now. I know their social media guy over there. He's a super good dude. So it would be cool to do some R&D development for them as well. That was not the particular company in Montana, but if I'm up there and they need the truck anyways, then why the heck not, right? It's only going to be like January, February in Montana. I'm sure that the weather will be beautiful, especially compared to Florida. But yeah, whatever, man. I'm all for it. So if they're up there, then that would be awesome. But you answered Corradetti, his question. That's awesome. And Sam says it's a really hard choice. It is. I mean, because they're so similar. But again, it comes down to the powertrain, which one I like driving better, and which one will perform better on the channel too. I feel like a Land Cruiser would perform better on the channel, even though it's a 4-cylinder. I think that just the fact that it's a Toyota and people are going to start building them up and modifying them, and the engine will start to prove itself too with that low end torque, you know, with that vehicle moving bigger tires maybe, and then roof racks for it and all that stuff. I feel like a Land Cruiser would connect more with the audience, as even though these cars are stupid expensive, as more of a obtainable vehicle for the channel instead of like a GX 550 Overtrail, which would be cool personally. If that truck is, you know, it would fall into the same category as the Sequoia TRD Pro. Like, hey, it's cool watching John's content about it, but like, I personally wouldn't buy one because it's, you know, an $80,000 vehicle or whatever the GX 550 is going to come in at, right? But that doesn't stop a lot of people, just because like there's certain YouTubers I watch, right, that have fully built out cars that cost $200,000 or $300,000. I'll never buy that car, but if the content is enjoyable, then I still watch the content. So that's something I definitely want to work on next year, is making enjoyable content instead of just like, hey guys, here it is. What do you guys think? Cool. You know? So that's definitely something that I'm gonna work on the moment I get the Tacoma. I'm already kind of working on it, like in videos, like micro changing it a little bit. I just don't want to like flip a switch and like, hey guys, here's the new content of how I do things. So I'm like slowly adjusting with like the videos that I make to make them kind of that way. And then once we get the Tacoma, it'll be new and there will be a lot of new people on the channel. So that would kind of show like the new vibe and way of videos that I want to go, if that makes sense. Garrett says, should I get a 23 Tacoma off-road with a manual transmission or get a 24 off-road with a manual transmission? If it was me, I'd just wait for the 2024. If you're worried about the turbo 4-cylinder or anything like that, then maybe just go the safe route and get the, you know, somewhat proven truck already. But dude, the moment you get into a 2024, if it is anything reliable like the 3rd gen has been for people, the moment you get into a 2024, you're gonna realize like this is an insanely better truck. Like every time I sit in the Tacoma, I can't believe that it's a Tacoma. The bigger screens and everything in it, just especially the off-road, the TRD off-road, you're getting the new generation of the crawl control. It's gonna be super silent. You get the front sway bar disconnect, which, yeah, it's not as good as like a front locker, but it allows for a little bit more articulation in the front to like grab onto the rocks and stuff. The new generation of the crawl control with all the A-track and everything in it, like, dude, the 4th gen Tacoma like just walks, and I haven't even driven it yet or like really just experienced it. And again, I hate that I'm hyping it up, but I'm just so excited for it. It walks the 3rd gen. Like the 3rd gen, it was cool when it came out. The interior was a nice little refresh. The Apple CarPlay with them adding that to it, like it was cool and everything. But I mean, like, I'm so excited for the 4th gen. And just all the stuff the truck has to offer. It's just, it's so good. It's gonna be so good. And I really hope that I don't bite my tongue with that later, right? Like 6 months from now, I'm making a video of my Tacoma for you guys saying it broke down, it failed me. Like, I really don't want that to happen. But I'm like overly excited for the truck. But if you guys don't have any other questions, Garrett may have been the last question. So if there's no more, then I will hang up tonight. Have some more content coming for you guys later this week. Getting the Tacoma ready to get sold, swapping the suspension system out for that, going over all my overland stuff, and just everything that truck has been for the last 10 months. I had it since January or so, and we're in November now. That's kind of crazy. just everything that truck's been and whatnot, and getting it ready for sale, and then giving you guys an update video also on the Tundra with it being at the dealership. And then of course I still have so many more review videos for you guys from these trips. It's crazy. And then we go to the LA Auto Show, and then that's just more content. I love it. So I appreciate you all coming out on a Wednesday evening, and I will catch you guys in the next live stream and next video. All right guys, see you later. And adios.